Good morning, everybody, in my best radio voice. Today's and this week's TLDCast is brought to you by the wonderful creative learning agency Mindspace. Check out mindspace.net to find out all of the super cool things they do, and you can check our archives to see their sessions that they've done with us throughout the past couple months and see how awesome their offices are and the cool work that they do. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday. It's Myra Monday.
Hey, everyone. That was uneventful, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't even warn you I was going to do that because I wasn't even sure that was going to work that way. But, hey, that's how we roll. But anyways, this is going to be a super fun day. I've been looking forward to this since we decided to do it, Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
Sort of a last minute thing, but that's why TLDcast is so much fun. We get to randomly see hot topics, things talking about very cool things, people talking about very cool things, and we get to just jump on it and have a conversation about it. So that's what today's all about. Today we're talking about Snapchat and all of the cool things you can do with it, and it's been so fun to watch all of the Twitter conversations around it, which has been very, very cool. But before we get to that, everybody just hold your breath real quick and let me run through a couple of the usual items. We are the training, learning, and development community. We also do TLDcast, which is what you're watching right now. It's hashtag TLDCAST. We are the TLDcast. You can also check out the website. And after these live broadcasts, you can also check out the reruns. We have archives, and you can continue the conversation over in our Slack group, which is what we call TLD Chat. So TLDC HAT, kind of the TLDC hat, if you will. And what else do we have going? We also have a podcast. Check out the podcast. We take all of these episodes and we download the audio and we upload them as podcasts. So if you want to watch the video version of a replay, then hit the archives, hit Crowdcast, and you can check out what's going on there. Oh, my screensaver started to save. Here, I'll drop us back in here. And hit up the archives in Crowdcast if you want to watch and see the chat and watch the video. But if you just need the audio, maybe you're doing the dishes, mowing the lawn, at the gym on the treadmill or something, and you just want something to listen to, you can just listen to the audio that way and listen to all of us talk about all of the most important things within the training, learning, and development world. So welcome, everybody. Wow, we already have a crowded house. It's an epic Monday. And we're going to be talking about Snapchat. I had no idea people were finally back on this thing. So I appreciate you, Myra, so much for jumping on and saying, hey, you know what? It is a cool thing. And L&D people can actually use it for stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So
do I have an echo?
Do what? Mm-hmm.
Do I have an echo?
Oh, can you hear me? It's probably because you know what? I haven't moved my speaker over to the other one yet. So I was traveling last week, and every time I get back into the home office here, I end up having to reset everything, and I don't always get all of the settings just right. So let's just do this real quick. Oh, no headphones. Output, input, output. There we go. The USB audio codec. Okay, let's see if that's working.
All right, that's better.
Much better. That should help. Can you still hear echo?
No echo.
Awesome.
Except my stuffy nose in my head.
All right. Okay. So, geez, where do we start? Like, do we give everybody a little intro of Snapchat or,
Yeah.
actually, yeah. So actually first, maybe what we should do is, let's intro you because there's probably a lot of people here who may not know who Myra is.
Yes. Okay. So do you want me to intro myself?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. Hey everyone, and thank you for joining. So I'm Myra Roldan, and I am a senior instructional designer at Amazon, and I joined Amazon a year ago. Before that, I was a consultant, so I worked from home in my pajamas, did that for like 7 years. So now I'm back in corporate, and I was telling Brett about that. That's been a really interesting transition because I'm also an empty nester at the same time, so I've like completely downsized into a studio apartment, which has been an interesting transition for me. Anyway, I've been in the learning space for about 20 years now. I was telling Brent, I've been teaching new technologies for learning since 2005. That's a little something that people don't know about me. I do it as an adjunct professor. But before that, I was a systems engineer. So I have a computer science background. And I also code a little, and I dabble here and there. So I find it really interesting. So I play with a lot of technologies, and my goal with any technology that I play is to figure out, like, how does this tech work, first of all, and then is it even worth it, and then how do I integrate it into the learning space? So that's kind of me in a nutshell. I am a mom. I have 3 kids, 2 puppies, living in Seattle now. I made that move from the East Coast to the Pacific Northwest. So I went from a lot of snow to a lot of rain. So that's been interesting. So that's just me in a nutshell. You guys can follow me on Twitter, Myra Made. Today's Myra Monday on Twitter every Monday. Started that a little while ago. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, I'm on it.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. I hope everybody can hear. Sounds like somebody is having some viewing issues. Yes, I was just going to say that. Thanks, Luis, for jumping in there. Yeah, definitely everything works better on Chrome with this kind of stuff. So one thing I should do here real quick is let's just do this. Oh, there we go. Get a little bit bigger view of everything. So yeah, so wow, lots of places to start. Let's just start with the basics. Do you have like a super simple way that you explain what Snapchat is to people?
I do. So Snapchat is basically a messaging platform where you can send videos and photos. It's a form of social media. Your photos only last for a certain amount of time. With the updates that Snapchat has made, you can actually replay videos now and photos. That's basically what it is. It's a messaging platform, right? So a lot of people get intimidated by it, thinking like, I don't know what this is. Even my mom's on the Snapchat, as she says. And it's Snapchat, right?
It's the Snapchat.
Yeah. My kids are on Snapchat. My daughters live all over the place. It's a great way for me to stay connected with them.
I'm making a Snapchat right now.
So Snapchat is just a messaging platform, but it also integrates augmented reality. And if you guys have followed me in the past, since I decided to go public 2 years ago, because I stayed in the backwoods for a long time, I didn't want anyone to know about me. Because I just dabble all. I'm like I'm like a little disorganized, schizophrenic kind of about my technology, right? So I tend to be like all over the place with stuff. So I invited everyone into my world 2 years ago, and so it's been an interesting ride. But I play in the space of augmented reality and virtual reality, and that is the perfect platform for it.
So, and since everybody's talking about it, it is a great place, I think, for people to start. I often I use Pokemon Go was a great example that we used for a while. I don't use it anymore to talk about it because now everybody kind of gets it, or at least they seem to. But I kind of thought that in the early days of Snapchat too, and then I kind of dropped it. And like I was telling you earlier, it's been really fun to all of a sudden see this resurgence in our community of everybody doing Snapchat stuff, which is like, wow, we definitely have to start talking about this now that we've got a collection of users. So, and I would be absolutely remiss if I did not mention the wonderful and amazing Helen Blunden, who has been on Snapchat for a long time. She's probably one of the first people in our community from, she's in Australia. And so that's why she can't join us here, because I think it's like 3 a.m. right now in Australia. Yeah, I think so. So the Aussies don't normally join us, which is too bad, because they do some fantastic work. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Helen and all the things that she's been doing on the Snap.
Yes, and she actually posted a really cool video this morning on Snapchat introducing herself to everyone. It's a little long, but it's pretty cool too. You get to see her full personality. And yeah, she's been playing in it for a long time, very differently than I have been. I've been on Snapchat because my kids kind of forced me onto it many years ago when it first started. Because I don't know if you remember the controversy around Snapchat with kids. Like my kids were like in high school and middle school, remember? And it was like there was this article warning parents, like, your kids are sending inappropriate messages with this thing called Snapchat and their pictures disappear. Don't let them on the Snapchat. Yeah. So like, me being a responsible parent, I was like on Snapchat and then sending my kids like inappropriate stuff. Right. So
this is what you're supposed to do with it. So why let's as parents, let's jump in and do it right back.
I know they were like, Mom, no, don't let anyone see you.
Hey, it's my job to embarrass you wholeheartedly. So if this Snapchat thing can help me do my job, then I'm all in.
Yeah. I have 3 girls. And so it's always fun because they're like, oh God, make it stop now.
Yeah. That's not, I always get, that's not how you do it, Dad.
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah, that's not how you say it. There was a phrase or something going around, and I was using it wrong. And that was my favorite for a long time, but I think I over abused the term.
My kids hate when I say, let's get crunk. They're like, oh, no.
Well, let's take it out of the sort of, it's a toy and the kids kind of play with it and the kids got us into it. And let's start talking about what it is we can do with Snapchat. Like why? So one of the things I try to do, let me try to set the stage here. One of the things that I love to talk about with the new technologies, especially when they come out, is to try not to talk about the actual branded technology. In a lot of cases, especially like Snapchat, it's hard to do because there really isn't anything else like it. But it makes the conversation easier at our level to talk about the features, right? And more of the functionality, like the idea that you can just very quickly take a picture or a video or text and build what they call a story out of these little 15-second. There's a timeline on it right now, right?
Yes, it's actually 10 seconds for your video. So it really forces you to tell a story in 10 seconds. And that's what I really love about Snapchat.
Yeah.
It forces you to get to the point, right?
Yeah, those creative constraints are awesome. And there are some people out there doing some very, very, very cool stuff on Snapchat. But so things like that, right? Like let's talk about the features and what, excuse me, and how those features sort of play into the work that we do in training and learning and development. I mean, there's some of the obvious stuff when you're just trying to teach a friend or teach people who are followers and all that kind of stuff. But I want to try to start off by avoiding the conversation of we're not allowed to use Snapchat inside of the corporate network and it's not secure. And let's not go there just yet. Let's just dream outside the box a little bit and look at the educational features based on the cool things you can do.
Yep. Okay. So let's start with the basics, right? So right now I'm using, you can use both your front facing and your back facing camera on your phone, which is pretty cool. That's Snapchat. That was an update that they did, you know, I think like a year ago or two. So you can now, this little dancing Bitmoji, Bitmoji is a different app that you can download and create like your alter ego, right? And they now have it where you can take a picture of yourself and it kind of does a pretty good rendering. They got the hair kind of right on mine, you know, the glasses. And so you can use these Bitmojis just to send some quick videos and stuff. So let me do this. So I'm going to really get a Bitmoji, all you have to do is launch Snapchat, hold long press on your screen. And then at the bottom, you get these are called lenses. And you can just scroll through them. And anyone that has like these little two people means that you will have a Bitmoji. You can't control, you can't control what that Bitmoji is. The cool thing is, hold on, Brett, let me find you here. And I'm gonna send you a chat. So the cool thing now is if I long press, I tapped on Brent's name. So now when it opens up, what it's doing right now, it's looking for Brent's Bitmoji, and it's gonna try to put the two of us onto the screen. My wife, there we go. So there are Brent and I on the Bitmoji, and yeah, his shirt matches the shirt he has on right now, which is hysterical.
I think it's cool that it locks. So it locks the bit emoji into wherever you long tapped. And then if you move the camera around, it stays there, but the view moves. That is really cool. Yeah,
and you can move your phone around. So like if you twist your phone, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm twisting my phone. It keeps the perspective on it. So, I mean, that's just one cool thing about it, right? So I make a lot of videos for like trailers for conference, and you guys might have seen some of my trailers on YouTube. And what I do is I'll take a video and I script them. So I usually, Ann Rollins is my partner in crime, and so we'll sit there and we'll go on Google Docs, we'll script what our video is gonna cover, and we'll then proceed to use filters. We'll decide what filters are we gonna use, which ones we think are funny, and we'll then create these 10-second videos, and we'll do like 5 of them each. And Ann just uploads her videos to Dropbox for me. So let me just show you. So if I take this video right now.
And so you download it, and then do you edit it in another app?
Yeah, so then there's this download icon right here. So this right here is a download icon. Just download it. It saves it to your photos, and then you can export it into like Camtasia or Adobe Premiere and do some additional editing. I always tell Ann, turn your phone landscape, right? Because then you get the full resolution. And it takes some playing around with if you're gonna do it. So like, it doesn't work well when you're doing the Bitmojis, but if I do my face, right? Kept this there, hold on. So if I do my face, and I apply one of these filters, let's see. I love when they put glasses on top of my glasses. This is my favorite filter because I love anything that changes my voice, right? So you get these different filters that you can play around with. My phone is right now, but because I'm sharing on QuickTime, it doesn't really change it for me. So you can take a picture. You can add some text, right, to it. Yep. But if you take a video, really quick video, I'm gonna move around because now I'm gonna add some, so I'm gonna press the T on the top. I'm gonna add some text. And then I'm gonna hit the big text and then done. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this. If I long press it and I put it like over my head, what it'll do, it'll move with my head, the text. So you can have your text kind of anchored onto whatever video you have or image you have. Some still cool features there. Let's see, what else can you do? You can do groups. So if you scanned my my code, my snap code this morning, is that your dog? How cute.
That's
so if you scan my snap code this morning, I can add you to this group that I created called Myra Monday. That's hysterical. And And you can create groups simply by clicking on your little avatar on the top. And then you can click on, sorry, everything's coming in right now.
I'm getting notifications.
I know, it's like
like
crazy. So if you click on the chat button here, on the top you have groups, stories, and all. If you click on groups, here you can create a group just by tapping create group. You select who you want to be in it, and then you give your group a name. I have a Myra Monday group that I just created today. And so now anyone that posts, their post will appear in that group as long as they tap the group as the place they want that chat to go, which is pretty cool. So if we look at your profile screen on Snapchat, let me explain this a little bit. So you have your Bitmojis, you earn trophies as you post. But if you look at your snap code, that snap code can be shared. If you tap it, you get this share snap code, or you can save it to your camera roll so you can put it on Twitter or Instagram or wherever you're going to put it.
Yep.
Underneath it, it'll have like your screen name. You can edit that by clicking the little cog on the right. And here you can edit your name. You can never edit your username though. So if you're just jumping onto Snapchat, make sure that whatever username you pick is the username you want, because you can't change it. My birthday's coming up, guys, so be sure to send me birthday tweets because it does say that right there. Let's see, so your Bitmoji, snap codes. So you can, a cool thing that you can do with this, so I really want to go into specific features now that a lot of people don't talk about, right? So I like to talk about my specs. And here, let me change out my glasses here. So if you've been to conference, I have probably harassed you with my specs, right? So
and you're freaking people out.
Yeah, they freak people out, right? Because with the specs, there's a little button on the top here. And I'm going to put it here. I don't know if you guys can see that pretty good, but there's just a little button there. And when you tap the button once, it starts recording, and it'll record a 10-second video. And you can extend that video by up to 30 seconds. I'll let this one finish, but you see the little circles flashing. But if I tap it 3 times,
hold on. You know what? Let's do. Okay. Hold on one second. You do that again, but I'm going to unfocus your screen share real quick, and I'm going to make you go full screen so people can see what's going on here. There we go. Let's try that.
All right, cool. All right. So right now it's recording, so you'll see that there is a little circle going on, and I'll show you again. So if I tap the button on the top of the glasses 3 times or once, it'll do a 10-second video. I think they might have just died.
Oh, there it goes.
So it's recording a video, and the cool thing is that there is in the case, this case is really important. You never want to let go of the case. So the case is where you charge. It has little pins in it, and then just a little charger that goes in the back of the case. And this is how you charge your glasses. When you put your glasses into the case, I'm a little blind now. But when you put your glasses into the case, you need to anchor on the pin, and it'll start to charge. So the videos you record on your specs will then be paired to your Snapchat account. So let's see. Can you focus back on to? Oh
yeah, I'm sorry, I closed it, so you need to just reshare.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just hit that share part again. You'll be good.
All right. So your specs need to be paired. So you just go into your settings, and right here is where you pair your specs. Mine are already paired. Any videos that I create now will be saved to my memory. So let me just show you. So specs, it'll tell you there's an update available. It'll tell you what your battery level is. So mine is paired, but now if I go into my memories, right? So the little cards at the bottom, these 2 little cards, will send you to Discover. Let's just go back here really quick. Okay, so now, whoops. I'm losing everything now. Okay, so now if I tap here on my pictures, and I can long press onto my face, and I want to edit a video, I'm going to show you really quick. And you see the little circle at the bottom that appears? That's going to open up my memories. And so I can import anything from my Snapchat specs at the top here, right here. So it's importing from my specs. And I have a couple of let's join. Okay, so now I have a couple of videos in my memories that I've shared or that I made. It's importing all the videos I created with my specs right now. And I can look at all my videos. Yesterday I created a video, my magic video. I don't think and you can just, your memories just go through, my phone's not cooperating right now. So your memories just has like all your videos, right? Let's get these out of the way. Let's go back. So that's just one part of Snapchat, is like the specs and being able to see all your memories. But the other thing that I really like are filters and lenses. So I just went back to my settings, and I'm going to click on filters and lenses. You can create your own filters and your own lenses.
Let's try to do something here real quick. Can you unshare your screen for me real quick?
Yep.
And then reshare it, but this time select the little tab on the top that says window and just select the QuickTime.
All right, so it's not letting me just do, oh, here we go. Okay.
And
is that better?
Because I think you and I can share together. I'm going to see if we can do this.
Okay, cool. Make this a little smaller.
And it might be too small and people won't actually be able to see, but I just kind of want to test out. So if I do unfocus, this should put all four of us up. Yay. Okay. Look at that.
Very good. Oh, fun. Okay. That's fun. Okay. So you can create your own filters and lenses. So this is where Snapchat starts to get really interesting, right? Because you can create filters or lenses for special occasions. So I created last year a filter for DevLearn, and it's in one of my videos. So for a filter, it's just basically, they have some that you can just create on your own for like a celebration or something. They give you some options here, and they have some like pre-made kind of stuff. You can add additional like text and banners to it, and edit the text that's on there. And then, so you have to pay for this, for your filters. And the filters, then you have to add a fence to it. So let's just do this. I'm just gonna go with it. You have to tell it what time you want it to start and what time you want it to end. So,
and where did you start? Where did you find the initial? Like, did you go to?
So, go to your settings. So, click on the here. So, let's go back. Let's abandon that.
So am I in the right screen?
Okay, yeah. So now click the cog on the. What's that? I am left-handed, guys, so I don't know left from right. And then you're going to click on filters and lenses.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and so I created one for DevLearn last year. And so you have to do this geofence, right? So your fence has to be in a specific area because you do pay for, there's a cost for creating a filter.
Yeah, do you guys remember this one? Oh, can I go full screen on it? Oh,
no, so it won't let you go. Once it's completed, you can't go full screen on it.
No, bummer.
But you can create your own filters, right? Just by going to filters, and then you can select a premium. But if you go into PicMonkey or Canva.com, you can create a filter and then import it to Snapchat and create your own kind of thing with your logos, and you can add like some cool things to it. They're just not animated. The other thing you can do is you can create lenses, right? So they have these standard lenses that you can use, and you're just using the standard lenses that come available with Snapchat, right?
So let's how do we define the difference between the two? So a custom filter and a custom lens, what's the difference?
Yes, so a custom filter is just like a banner that you put on an image or a recording, right? So it's static. A custom lens is animated 3D. just like I am right now. So it's a custom lens.
It'll stick to a certain spot and it'll move around like the ears and the glasses and all that kind of stuff. So it's I forget the technical term for it, but it's like motion tracking, I guess. I don't know if that's the right
it is motion tracking. So I know Joe was playing with this yesterday. But these you get to edit, and you can add some banners to it. You can do a lot of fun stuff with it. However, and many people don't know this, is that in December, Snapchat launched something called Lens Studio. And so Lens Studio is a desktop application that allows you to create your own lenses. There is a cost for it. And so I'm going to show you Lens Studio.
Awesome.
So,
that opens up the creativity quite a bit. I mean, I tried for a long time to think to myself, okay, instructionally, how do I use this filter thing? Back when it was just filters, you couldn't create your own lenses or anything. And that even took a while actually for them to get to that point. But, you know, all I could think of was just, and it cost money to do it too. So, you know, it does. Yeah, it wasn't something I wanted to spend a lot of money playing around on, but I knew there was something there. I just couldn't figure it out. So I've been watching the chat while you've been talking, and there's just a couple things. While you're setting up that next screen share, I just want to point out, yes, you do have to update to the latest version of Snapchat. If you have not updated recently, do so now. If you're having trouble doing some of this fancy stuff, Snapchat, the app updates quite a bit. But I have mine set to just update automatically in the background. So step one, update your app. And there's lots of people wanting to figure out the whole dancing video part. So let's just hold on to that thought and go through that quickly at the end. Let's keep doing what you're doing. Let's take a look at this new lens builder, and then we just want to make sure we save a little bit of time to show everybody how we did that again.
Yeah, definitely. So let me show
or we
again.
can do it with Slack. Yeah, Joe, we could maybe do a little tutorial on how to do that and drop it into Slack.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So sharing yet?
Oh, let me close my screen here.
Yeah. So I want to make. Okay. So Lens Studio. So when you think about augmented reality, right? We got a little. When you think about augmented reality, Snapchat is a really great augmented reality tool. And this is where I geek out on Snapchat, is the fact that it allows us to change people's perceptions of the real world, right? Wonder if I need to minimize some of this. There it goes. I had it over. Oh, maybe not. Okay,
maybe just move your mouse down. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, still jumping. We could still do this. Okay, so when you open up Lens Studio, so you go, I'll put a link to this in Slack so you guys can get access to it. It's a free tool. And I'm just gonna walk you through this. So I'm gonna, when you open it up, you have recent projects and templates. Always start in templates because you wanna start with something that Snapchat already has some kind of controls over, right? So you have like a full screen, static object, animated, interactive approach. This means if you walk towards it, it triggers an animation. Look at it, it triggers an animation. Tap to trigger, look around, and then you have the wormhole, the window into another world. You have some cutouts and 2D animations. So I'm gonna go into animated object here. And we're gonna do this really quick on the fly. I am not going to completely explain what I'm doing. So as I talk, I'm just gonna show you what you can do with this. So right now, there's this animated panda. This looks very overwhelming when you first open it. And if you haven't played with a true AR builder, there's a slight learning curve. And Brett, stop me if yeah, so Brett, stop me if, so right now I can't see chat or anything, so let me know if there's questions.
Yeah.
So let me just give you the overview of what's going on here, right? So this panel here is all the elements of this object, and then this panel here is just like resources. This is your preview panel over here on the right. And then you have your inspector panel down here. And this is similar in a lot of the different augmented reality creation tools. With Snapchat, with the Snapchat Lens Studio, you can push your lens to your phone just by clicking it push next to your Snapchat, and then it pushes the lens to your account so you can test it out to make sure that it's what you want it to be. Because testing is really important in these things. I tell everyone, like, if you're going to do something, make sure you test it before you put it out there, right? Yeah. So we can, and you have some controls up here, and we can edit the project info here by clicking this little project info. You can create a custom icon for it. You can change the name. So let's do Myra Monday. And you can provide a hint. I'm not going to provide a hint. You click apply, right? So now you can build your own object on this just by deleting the object that's existing on the board here and then importing your own file. So I'm going to import a file that I downloaded from Poly. And Poly is 3D creator. Because I am talented, but I'm not 3D talented.
So you can literally upload any 3D object, because there's a lot of open source 3D object libraries. Could you go find something that you like and import it here and use it as a lens within Snapchat?
Yeah, so you have to be careful with some of it because OBJ files work really well. And the FBX files work really well here.
Yep.
And so you just want to make sure that whatever it is, if it has too much going on, and we can look at the file again when I import it. So this file is really simple. So down here, the resources, when I import it, this is the Google Poly. This is so the material, the sphere, and the texture. So you need to make sure your file has a texture. Some files are just so big that they'll make the Lens Studio crash. I've done that a few times. So you just want to pick simple objects right now. And what I did is when I imported it, we couldn't see it. So I just clicked up here on the object and I changed the scale of the object. You can scale it down.
Ah, cool. I love that it gives you the preview of what it's going to look like in the Snapchat filter.
Yeah, definitely. And let's see, so here I can move this around so I can see what my object is like. And if you see, let's see if I can get a good splice. You see how the legs are underneath the sphere? That's okay, but I might want to change this. Here's this is the collision, the touch collision area. So meaning it's the area where you can interact with it. So you want to make sure that you bring this down to the size of the actual object. So if you keep it too big, let's see if it's going to let me, my mouse is a little, here we go. So you want to make this collision area smaller. Hold on, let me just play with this. And I know this is people might be like, oh, I can't do all of that. That's cool. We're just showing you what you can do with this. Oh, I want to frame it right over. Okay, make it small. You want to make sure your object stays in it. You just have to play with it a little.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can, move it up. So anytime you click here on the sphere, you can decide, or on your object, you can change a lot of the features over here. And then if you click on the materials here, you can do things like change the base color. On the sphere itself, it's gray, so it shows you, if you wanted to change the actual object, and then this is just the texture that's on the bug itself. That's what it uses.
You can brand it, put your own little image on it.
Yeah, so you have to be careful though, because you need to do that in a 3D edit.
Oh.
Do it
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yes, you want to make sure that you're careful with that. But anyway, so once you I can push this lens out, and let me see if I can stop sharing here, just for the sake of time. And let me share my phone again.
I've got people snapping me.
I know, this is like fantastic. I think this is so much fun. Okay, so now if I go back to my phone and I tap on my, I'm gonna do rear face. Here's the lens that I created. Bug. She got pushed over from Lens Studio, but I'm gonna reverse my camera just so you can see, because she's meant to be manipulated here. And so I can play around with her. So because her legs, I didn't bring her legs up, I can't really move her around. Right now, I should have brought her legs up in Lens Studio. But that's a lot, you know, basically this is the gist of it. I know this is like overwhelming and stuff, but this is really something that my kid's texting me. This is just something else that you could really do, you know, with Snapchat. So it's not just playing with filters. It's about creating new filters and creating engagement, right? So I think that one way that we can, like going back now, so like let's get off of the AR heavy stuff and let's get off of, I know that's overwhelming for people. I just wanted to show, like, for those that are interested in it, there's a lot more you can do with it. One way that you can use Snapchat and L&D is really creating groups, right? And then posting a question like we do on Twitter or on Facebook and having people post their video. I think that's a lot of fun. You can have people post videos. And so I do have a video open just so I can show, let's see, I had a video open. Oh, yeah, I do, okay. So how I create videos right now, let me open my application window. So this is a YouTube video. Okay, cool. So this is a YouTube video that I created. It's a trailer. Let me make it full screen. It's just a trailer that I created for DevLearn. It has audio in it. So Ann and I live in 2 different states, and so we script the videos and second clips that we each created, and then I bring it all into Camtasia and I edit it. And the cool thing is, like, you know, if you draw faces, Snapchat will pick up you know, faces drawn on a board as long as it has some of those facial features. It does not recognize dog faces, at least not my dogs. I've tried it, but you can do some really cool stuff with it to really create some engaging videos. So if you're into like videos, this is just one more way that you can use Snapchat to create something that's engaging and fun. And again, you should really concentrate on creating these short stories that have a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? So each of these clips have a beginning and an end. Make it really engaging. So if I were to take some of these videos apart, you would see that each of them tells its own little story. And that's kind of the trick of Snapchat, is to really do this. And so if I scrub through this.
Can you drop that into the chat, the link to that video?
I can. So let me just, so like a lot of this is just like the dancing figures. So a lot of people talk about this. How do we get those little dancing Bitmojis around? So let me get out of full here. And let me drop this.
So as we start to talk about this kind of stuff from a learning perspective, I think everybody should start following people and find the people doing really creative things, because John was asking a great question. How do we do this? How do we use this in e-learning? And again, I don't think there is an answer at this point, because it is still new. I think you just have to be creative. You have to think about the feature set and figure out, also know who your audience is, right? You do not want to be doing a bunch of Snapchat e-learning if your audience is, not on Snapchat. If they don't know what it is, then you got to spend a whole bunch of time teaching people what Snapchat is and all that kind of stuff. But if you have an audience that you think a really good portion of them are on Snapchat, it's another great way that you can deliver a message. And also, I'll add, if you follow people like Gary Vaynerchuk and some of the other real hardcore social media guys, they really know how to take advantage of connecting their Snapchats to their websites so that, and you can connect to videos by there's a swipe up feature. I'm not exactly sure how that works. And if you have to be like a cool influencer or if you have to pay for that. But I know there's a way you can do it because his channel does it. And I've seen it on a bunch of other ad channels. So, so lots and lots of different ways that Snapchat, I think, can be embedded as a part of that larger ecosystem, right? So what if you swiped up and it launched a course within your LMS or something, you know, I mean.
Yeah. So, and let's actually show that because that is actually fairly easy to do. So I'm going to do a quick video here, right? Let's see. I'm going to try to put a Bitmoji here. Okay. So you take your video, do a short one or a photo. So now, do you see this paperclip icon right here? So that allows you to actually attach a URL to your video or your picture.
I've always wanted to know how to do that.
And so that's it.
Go back. Let me do it with you. Let's do a let's be good trainers here, and everybody pretend to be me, and I will follow along. So where's the first place that I go to?
Okay, so right there, you're.
Oh, now I'm not there.
Lens where you're gonna shoot a video. So pretend you're just take a picture or shoot a video.
Okay.
Really quick. Just click the circle at the bottom.
Yeah. Right, and here is my video. Yay.
Okay.
Okay.
And so now, when you edit your video, you'll see the little paper clip.
Oh, yes.
Tap the paper clip.
Oh, and then just type in the URL. Really? It's that
Type in
easy?
the URL. Yeah. So you could do a quick intro video. I do not recommend putting e-learning on Snapchat. However, what I would do is create a quick intro video and attach. And so if your link is like behind a firewall or something like that, I would recommend that you tell your users that, right? Whether they need to be in a specific group or something like that. And then that just attaches to your video when you send it.
Ah, so cool. Okay, now I'm going to send it to the group and everybody tell me if it works. I'm going to send it to Myra Monday.
And so I can add more people to Myra Monday. Let's see. Myra Monday.
Oh, shoot. I should have added it to my regular story too, so everybody could see it. Right.
Yeah.
If you're not in Myra Monday. Okay. I'll figure this out sooner or later.
So let's see. I don't know who else has added me.
Alan, I want in too. Yeah, it'll be a fun group. So all of these new features that are happening, and everything that you can do within Snapchat. Remember, it is just another tool in the toolbox. We don't have these conversations on TLDCast, and we don't expect people to go out and all of a sudden change all of their e-learning courses to Snapchat. I know that it tends to freak people out when we talk about new tech, but it is an interesting new way to look at it. And yes, Joe, I totally agree. And I've been watching the chat and I've sensed everybody's, excuse me, mild frustration with the tool. Trust me when I say I've been on this thing since the very beginning and I still haven't figured it out. And it still is, the interface to me, I think is horrible. It's horrific. I think they've got the worst UX team ever. My kids even freaked out about it when they recently did their upgrade and they changed everything. A lot of it just doesn't make any sense. So it's not you, Joe. It's everybody across the board. But the interesting thing about that is, in my mind, is that for something with such a horrible interface to have such a user base, a strong user base, and so many people that struggle through to figure it out and are willing to figure it out, that means there must be something to it, right? I mean, it's got some sort of stickiness, that feature, that there's value here that people are finding useful.
Yeah, and I can tell you there are, I think it's 166 million users on Snapchat, and that's growing every day. So let's talk about some of the use cases for Snapchat, right? So everyone always asks me, like, when I introduce, what's the use case? The use case. So basically for Snapchat, and I have them written down, so I'm a fan of Rocketbook, guys. You guys don't have a Rocketbook, you should get one. So I had to write down my notes. So as I was thinking of use cases that would come up for you guys. So it's create a how's it made video. Create a day in the life video. Quotes, right? So share a quote, ask a question. Do DIY tutorials, do interviews. You can do really cool interview videos on Snapchat. Just make sure that you're keeping your questions. Each video in your interview is a 10-second story that you're sharing. And then do takeovers. Do takeovers like I'm doing today. You know, we've completely taken over TLDCast with Myra Monday. We're all over Snapchat and Twitter. And if you don't know about Myra Monday, you can follow me on Twitter at Myra Made, and on Snapchat, I am MCPR Girl. Long story behind that name. But you can create these communities, right? And so when you think about learning, I always hear people say, well, learning is like e-learning, and how do I integrate it into e-learning? Or no, guys, like learning is more than just e-learning or an ILT, right? So we need to really expand our brains about what learning is. When you watch a YouTube video, you're learning, right? I learned how to reset my fireplace at my house in Connecticut and install those brick things because I have a gas fireplace. I had to install a new piece. I watched a YouTube video and I was able to install my new piece, right? So you're learning something new every day. Learning doesn't have to be about learning about a process at work. And I'll tell you, like, stories, we really need to build compelling stories because we want people to identify with the characters that we're building and not so much with the pitch, right? So if your company does not have a compelling story or a good culture as it is, it doesn't matter how much training you throw at it or try to make a compelling story for it. People are just not going to be able to connect with it. So
the thing that I think is really fun, and this is the hard part about L&D professionals and this conversation as a whole. And I can tell you folks already that we're going to go over because it's just a fun topic to talk about. And we've only got 5 minutes left officially, but we'll probably go over a couple minutes. So you'll just have to live with it. If you've got a meeting you have to run to, feel free to come back and watch the replay later. But in thinking about doing things differently, we often go to, okay, how do I, as an L&D professional, use chat? Meaning, how do I do my instructional design process and use Snapchat as a delivery tool to push out this idea, this content that I have? And I think this is where we get stuck, and this is where we, as a community, need to lighten up a little bit and loosen up and completely flip how we think about things. And my favorite example is, this isn't about us. These tools are about the users, and letting the users and teaching people to share their stories and share what they do and build those groups around it and engage as an active participant in their sharing and their learning is a completely different way for us to think about our jobs. And my favorite example is one of my favorite Snapchatters, and I follow him on Instagram too, and his name's Big Cat Trucker. And people think I'm crazy They're like, why do you follow this guy? Number one, he's hilarious and he cracks me up. But his story is fantastic. And what it helped me realize is that being able to be a third-party participant in somebody else's life is exceptionally educational. I don't know what it's like to be a truck driver. I will probably never know what it's like to be a truck driver. But have I thought how cool it would be to be a long-haul trucker just because I love to drive, and how fun it would be to just constantly drive across the United States, or, you know, whatever route you have? Yes, I will admit that it sounds like an interesting lifestyle to me. Very nomadic, you know, listen to great music all the time. But this is Big Cat Trucker, and he shares really cool things. And not only that, but he's a foodie, and he's on the Food Network at times, I think, doing food shows, and just a really, really, really cool guy. And so that to me is a big part of what Snapchat and these new tools really help. It's more about helping people learn and helping people share and connecting those interesting realities between people. It's not about us and what we can build and put in the tool. Yes, there are some cool things we can do, and you know, we'll all continue to look at that. But I think in general, it's a very different way of looking at how we do what we do.
I agree. And so I follow some fun Snapchatters too. So I like NASA has a great channel. There's this guy called Dr. Miami. So the real Dr. Miami. He Snapchats all his plastic surgeries. So you can see him doing like liposuction and breast augmentations and butt lifts, and it's just so intriguing and so like horrifying to watch. You can't take your eyes off of it, right? But you're learning something new.
Have you seen the lady that pops the zits?
Oh yeah, no, I do not. I cannot watch that one.
I cannot either.
Yeah, no. You know who is on Snapchat? Michelle Obama's on Snapchat. The White House is on Snapchat. There's a bunch of organizations that you can search that are on Snapchat. And if you have some kind of interest group, there's a lot of DIYers and makers on Snapchat. Yeah. So really figuring out like, how do you grow yourself, right? It's a great tool to grow yourself. If you're just like bored and sitting, you know, there and watching, you know, at an airport, why not watch a plastic surgery? Why not watch someone make something?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's the most amazing thing. And again, like I said, I think it's a completely different mindset for us, and I don't think we're ready for that. Well, I mean, some of us are, because we're here and we're trying to figure this stuff out. But yeah, it's very, very different. And I guess we are at the top of the hour, so we should probably wrap things up a little bit. But what's a great way for us to close this out? What would you recommend people do first just to get started?
Add me to Snapchat.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. To learn how to add people so that you can start to follow people and learn by watching what other people do. That's the best way to get any of this stuff done. So great advice.
Yeah. I completely agree. So let me just, let's see if I can go into my videos, and let's see, where is my magic video? Okay. So this here, guys, was created with Snapchat. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to play it for you so we can close out. This is me doing some magic for you guys.
I'll go full screen for you there.
So did you catch it? If not, let me play it again. So again, I did this with Snapchat, my Snapchat glasses. It's just a perspective kind of video. So I pick up all the cards from the floor using my hands. So any videos you snap with Snapchat lenses are circular when you export them. So just get creative. I would love to see videos that everyone creates. And you know, I save all my Snapchat nonsense to my phone. This is the big popsicle and Space Needle by my house. Give everyone a view of where you live, right? Snapchat's about helping people learn about different cultures also and different things that you're doing. Let's see what else I have here. I would just say add me. I post some silly stuff. You'll see a lot of my puppies.
Yep. I saw you walking your dogs this morning. They are cute puppies. So if you're a puppy fan, she's got some cute ones.
Yeah, they're right there.
There they are.
Ed. And I literally, this is my office, which is a corner in my studio. And I actually have a loft. So let's see. So this is my loft, my little messy loft.
Cool.
Yeah, see, so you get a perspective of people's locations. So I don't know. I know everyone has questions. I would say, add me. I'll add you to the Myra Monday group. Just send me a message saying add me to Myra Monday, and I'll be happy to add you, whether it's here on Snapchat or on Twitter.
Yep.
I think, if I say post the questions on Slack too. I'm happy to.
Yeah, I was just going to say, let's move the conversation over to Slack. I'm sorry, folks. I'm just now looking. The way my setup is currently done, I couldn't see the bottom of my screen because my laptop screen was blocking it. And there were questions in the Ask a Question section, and I did not get to them. I am super sorry, but I'm going to move those over to the chat. And we can continue to have that conversation over there. Let me just say thank you so much to Myra for hanging out with us today and taking over TLDCast for a Snapchat Monday.
Yeah, and thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, this is a great time, and I really appreciate you on such short notice being able to jump in and do this. I love it. I've been I think some people get a little bit concerned that they can't just jump in and say, hey, I want to try something new. Or if I ask people, they get really shy about it. So I always appreciate it when somebody's willing to say, yeah, I'm all in. So thank you.
I'm always all in.
I love it. I love it. Well, we'll definitely have you back, and we'll look more at some of that advanced stuff. Let's give people a little bit of time to get into it, get talking about it, and then you come back on and we'll talk about, maybe somebody will have actually applied it to something, and we can have that conversation too.
Yeah, and I actually have a cool idea for a project, so maybe I'll post it on Slack, and maybe we can work on a co-project. And I would love to create a video. Everyone send a 10-minute clip and let's of your location and add a tag to it, and we can edit it in Camtasia and upload it and share it to everyone in the Slack group and really see where everyone's from. So
let's do it. Okay, that's it. That's the homework. Run over to the Slack chat group if you guys need the link or whatever. Just give us a shout out and we'll shoot that over there, or else somebody will be able to drop it in. So anyways, thank you so much, Myra. I'm going to close your video out while I say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. All right, folks. Hey, what a fantastic way to start the week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And thank you so much for letting me go over. I know I kind of always go over, but this is a little bit longer of a go over. Let me not forget to tell you all about our sponsor this week, all week long, mindspace.net. If you're looking for some exceptionally creative solutions to some of your more challenging training problems, you got to hit up Mindspace and at least talk to them. They're such great people, fun folks to chat with. I've done 2 different live TLDcasts from their offices, which were so much fun. You can go back and listen to those. They've got they take a very different creative spin on the work that we do in e-learning, because they originally started out as a creative ad agency and advertising and marketing creative agency, and now they're a learning agency. So they're just a wonderful group of folks. I would highly encourage you to hit them up, mindspace.net, and check out the fabulous work that they do. So I did not take my 30-minute break, but let's do a quick rundown of the week. We've got an open forum tomorrow. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about Snapchat tomorrow. I'll be live again from Mindspace on Wednesday, which is going to be a ton of fun. Cynthia Clay is our guest on Thursday, or did I skip a day? Nope, 18th, 19th, perfect. And then 20th, we have Lee Rodriguez jumping in and for Video Friday. Super psyched about that. So the week ahead is going to be tons of fun. I hope everybody is as excited about it as I am. Thanks so much, everybody, for hanging out with us today, and we will see you all tomorrow.
You are so cool. Yay! Uh-oh.